Hello, cherries. Welcome to Live Jerry Cherry Sunday, episode 48. And happy Halloween. So let's play. So in today's lesson, I'm going to give you some guitar speed building exercises. And these are very helpful for building speed and also building that connection between your left and right hand. And also helpful for picking, speed picking. So it's a very helpful exercise. It's something that I learned a long time ago. I think when I was 17, when I was taking some of my first guitar lessons. And it was Wesley B. Wright. It was actually a guy who showed this to me. He was a great guitar player. He was actually the first guitar player in the Miami Sound Machine. And so he taught me a bunch of good stuff. And this one was very important because it helped me, because I wanted to be the fastest guitar player on the planet when I started playing guitar. So, those were the days where speed was, what everybody wanted to do. And still today, people want to play fast. But it's really not only about playing fast, but it's about really kind of getting the dexterity and, the connection between your left and right hand. So, all right, without further ado, let's get right to it. And what we're using here is a metronome, right? I'm just using it on my phone, but you can have any kind of metronome you want, the old style ones or the digital ones. And I just got this one because my old one just stopped working. I had to re-update it, and it didn't update properly. So I got this one really quick. It's pretty good, metronome. Hopefully you could hear it. And you could set the tempo that you want. And you want to start off very slow. So I'm starting off with a generic 60 beats per minute right here. And I just type in 60 and you play. Now the whole idea of this is we're going to go through a few different things on single string. And you've probably seen this like a million times, but if you haven't, here you go. And so we'll start on the high E string, and we'll do fours like this. And you're going to alternate pick. So you're going to go down, up, down, up. Okay, then we're going to do it on every string. Okay, so, but we're going to do it in time. So we'll start off with 60 beats a minute. Excuse me. And it's going to sound like this. So the thing you really want to pay attention to is trying to be as clean as you can, and you want to let the string ring out. You don't want to mute the string like, you know what I mean? Unless you're trying to mute, unless you're practicing muting. But let the string ring out. So I'm going to do 4 times. Every string. Now to the G string. Here I'm letting it ring out. I'm not choking the string. The D string. And then to the A string. Hello, Tom G. All right. So, how you doing, Tom? So good to see you. So, I will put a link. I'll put a what do you call it? A timestamp to get right to the lesson. But I want to say hello to my friend Tom here. How you doing, Tom? Give you a little round of applause for hanging out with me today, Mr. Tom. There we go. All right. So this is a very useful tip, and it's something that I built my speed on doing. So, but you have to really start off slow and try to get it as clean as possible. Okay, so then you want to go the other way. you want to start with the fourth finger. So the first one we did 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do 4, 3, 2, 1, which is just like this. 4, 3, 2. So we're starting in a downstroke, but we're alternate picking. Happy Halloween, Tom. And down to the B string. I'm only going to do it twice just for time's sake. You can do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Okay, so we did just back and forth. We did and then we did 4 through 2, 1. Okay, so the next one is going to be like a 1, 2, 4, 2. It's like this: 1, 2, 4, 2. We do the same 4 notes per quarter note. So these are 60 beats per minute, 60 beats per minute, and the quarter notes. So it's 4 notes in between every click here. It's like this. Just going down the strings. G string, D string, A string, E string. Now we'll start with the 4, 2, 1, 2. So it's okay, so you did that. But it's very important also to stretch your fingers. You know, this is something that definitely have to loosen up your hands and stretch your fingers because you don't want to do any damage to your hands. So it's always good to periodically stretch, you know. And, you know, eventually you're going to build up speed. You're going to take it from 60 beats per minute. And you can go up in increments of 5, 10, anything you like. So, you know, you start off slow because you want it to be clean. And before you step up the speed, you want it to be as clean as you could possibly play it before you start playing faster, because you're not going to really improve that way. Once you feel like you have it really clean, then bump it up, you know. What are you drinking today, Tom? Did you have your morning coffee, or is it a beer o'clock somewhere? All right, so it's Sunday, we're playing guitar, it's all good. So, okay, so the next one is a 1-3, and this is a very popular position here. So you have 1, your 3rd finger, and your 4th finger. So it's beer later for sure. Oh yeah, definitely. Then to the E string. Okay, then you do it in reverse. Start 4, 3, 1, 3, like this. And so on. But like I said, you could do it 4 times. And just get it really clean and in time. And just, it's boring and monotonous, but it'll really help with the connection between your left hand and your right hand. You can do it while you're watching TV or doing a live stream. Okay, so now that you did all 4 of those, another one that I'm kind of adding to it is stretching between 1, your 2nd finger, and your 4th, but doing it in a bigger stretch between 2 whole steps here. And if you can't do it down here, you can bring it up to wherever you're comfortable stretching that position. You can bring it up here or up here. Right? Okay. So it'll be just like this. It'll be same thing. 4 notes. 2, 3, 4. idea too is to try to keep your fingers parallel with the frets and not try to be crooked with them like this, because that's just bad technique. Wherever you are, so you could lower your wrist to get your fingers parallel with the strings. Like I said, if you can't do it here, just bring it up here and do it if you could, if it's easier. And then do it in reverse. And so on. Now, what's really good too is just really get to the point where you're doing it one repetition per string, so that you could switch strings smoothly, like this. Switching strings without making noise on the other strings. Now, the reason why this is so good, because a lot of things that you'll play is going to have those same finger positions in the scales. Like if you're playing in E minor, right? You're playing right up here, right? Here's an E minor scale. Now, right there, playing that whole scale, you just went through all those positions. You did this one, the 1, 3, 4. You did the 1, 2, 4. And then you did the 1, 2, 4 again. So you get. Then you went down. You can go down here. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Right? So now you take it from 60 and just start speeding it up. So probably should go too much ahead, but just to show you the difference, we'll kick it up like 10. We'll go to 70. Oops, not that. You gotta clear this out. So go to 70. Okay, so it's a little bit faster. Then you have a 4 notes. And then you just kick it up another 10, make it 80, and hopefully you could hear this metronome. So it's kind of like this. You see how I'm building the connection between my left and right hand? Let's kick it up to 90. And now when you go through all these positions, you could raise it up a fret and do it up here. You know, then keep going. I mean, that's a good exercise in itself, just doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then going up a fret each time. And you could ascend going up and a descend going down up a whole step, like this. Right? Okay. So kick it up a notch. Who's the guy? What's the guy's name who said that? The chef? He would kick it up a notch. Uh-oh. Not sure yet. They're trying to get me to sign up for this free trial. I don't want the free trial. I don't want any of that. Oh man, you know what? Hold on a second here. Enable free trial. I don't want the free trial. Oh, good. I thought it was going to cut me off here, right in the middle of this, right? Okay. So, all right. Okay. So, yeah, so you have... You could even do a chromatic line going down, like this. Which is kind of cool. All right, so just build up the speed, keep it clean, and because between all those positions, whether it's 1-3, 4-3, or 1-2, 4-3, or even this spread right here where it's 1-2-4, but a whole step apart, that's all the positions. So if you did like a minor scale, or say you did a major scale, so right here you have this spread position. You have this 1-3-4, right? You have 1-3-4. I mean 1-2-4. You have this spread again, 2 spread, and then here. So you could actually go through the scales, like. You could even do it double time. Bradley, what's up? Give you a round of applause for hanging out on this beautiful Sunday. We are just working on a speed exercise, and it's with your metronome, and it's really helpful. It's just trying to get the connection between your left and your right hand by playing 4 notes between every quarter note, like. And then doing 1-3-4-3, like. And then 4-3-1-3. So this kind of stuff is helpful also for, say you want to do stuff like this, like I could double it. Or like a. Right? So you could build up to that. Which is not very clean. Alright? So that's kind of cool, that stuff. I mean, Yngwie Malmsteen does a lot of those 6. I'm playing 6 notes between every quarter note, which is kind of like a. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you get all that from this exercise. Just kind of working on your picking. This is tremolo picking. And I mean, the faster you go on this, you could just kind of go crazy with all that. But the whole idea is to just be as clean as possible. Just take it slow. And eventually, know, or it's kind of like Flight of the Bumblebee. Seattle Phil, good morning. What's happening? Well, we are just working on some speed exercises. And just kind of got to take it slow. I'm at 100 beats per minute, and I'm playing 4 notes in between. We could move it up a half step, like alternate picking. Just trying to keep it as clean as possible. But, come up with a practice routine that really works for you, Just doing it like doing your 1-3-4-3, Whether it's 4 times or 2 times or 1 time. I think 1 time is important too, because you get to try to get it as clean as possible, switching strings, jumping strings. And 2 times and 4 times is important because you could really kind of get into trying to be as clean as possible. Let's see what happens if we jump to like 150. What could we do here at 150? Which is super fast. Let's just So, Bradley, my band played our first gig 2 weeks ago. Well, that is really cool. Congratulations, Bradley. That is good news. Where'd you play? Where are you tuning in from, by the way? And where was your gig? That's really cool. So, great to get out there and play some gigs. I played the last 2 nights in the disco band. I played last night in New Jersey, a place called Calandras. It was an beautiful Italian place. And the night before I played in Wantagh, Long Island. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York, by the way. And we played at Mulcahy's, which is kind of a famous rock club, all kinds of music club, but it's an amazing venue called Mulcahy's in Wantagh. And so you're in Mississippi, and you played a Halloween party where there was about 100 people. That is so cool, Bradley. Well, you know what? Are you a guitar player? I mean, you probably are because you're here right now. But I forgot whether it's guitar or maybe I'm confusing you. Maybe you're just a multi-instrumentalist. But congratulations on your gig, and it's awesome to get out there and play music. So let's see, and now we got a second gig, or probably gig, coming up at a bar called John's for a benefit in December. And keep those gigs rolling. It's great to get out there and make some music, make people happy. Lead guitar. On lead guitar, Bradley Hartz. I'm a guitar player, obviously, and I play a lot of gigs on guitar, but a lot of people don't know, but I'm actually a bass player too. And in the disco band, I play bass, which is a lot of fun, and it's so much fun to play bass. I recommend every guitar player plays bass and play in a band if you can, because it teaches you so much about music to understand what the bass is doing. You can't just make fun of the bass player anymore. you have to respect the bass, and there's a lot going on, you know. Sometimes I'm jealous when I'm playing bass because, you know, the guitar player sometimes he could just hit a chord, you know, and take a swig of his beer. Meanwhile, the bass players, you know, just play. He can't stop. You know, the bass is just it's going on and on. Let's see if I can play bass with the guitar. You know. Right? So there's a lot going on there. But congratulations on your gig. And hopefully you're finding this helpful. And, you know, just a great exercise to really practice your dexterity and your tremolo picking and just your control. But it's good to, you know, keep it slow. I guess I'm just showing off a little bit right now. But, you know, back to 70 beats per minute. And just keep it real clean and consistent. And then, you know, move it up a whole step, half step. I mean, I've been doing this so long. So it's like, I think there's an 80s tune called, which one is it? That we play, and it's a, you know, Take On Me. What's like right, you know. There's a part in it where it's like something like that, right? That weird bridge, that middle bridge. And it goes, there's like a part, a chromatic part that's like it's like. And I've played with keyboard players that don't play that because it's too fast. But I've always been able to do that. It's kind of impressive. Some people are impressed by it, but to me it's like nothing because I've been playing this since I'm 17, these exercises. Well, I don't really do this anymore, but I did it for years back when I was a kid. And so tremolo speed picking for me is pretty easy now. So I could do a riff like the. And all it is that chromatic that we just did slow. So eventually, it just becomes one of the same. You know? And then your legato becomes better too, because the more you're practicing, the more you practice your picking, the more that your left hand can kind of just take over by itself. You know? And you wind up not picking every note, but the connection, your legato becomes better and faster if you're practicing. Because eventually you'll just start kind of letting go. You won't start picking every note. You'll start off. And then you'll start, you'll just kind of catch up to your left hand. You know, it'll all be in the same area. So it, you know. That's kind of the important part of legato, is just kind of hitting the notes so that you get effectively get a, what's the right word? The right attack, so you can continue your legato. You might only hit the string one time, but it all stems from knowing where, you know, having the connection between your left and right hand by picking every note. Now you could just kind of release it, or pick every note, but you know, the connection's already there, so that you're not lost if you're just picking every note. let's all be honest here. Guitar is the coolest instrument to play. It sure is. I mean, come on, look. Look at this look at this Strat. Isn't this thing beautiful? It's like it's curvy. I mean, come on, you know, we're so lucky we're guitar players. Keyboard players, just like I gotta play that, stand behind this thing, you know. And guitar is so cool that, you know, they came out with the keytar so that keyboard players could jump out there with their guitar, you know, or keyboard, trying to be a guitar player. I mean, what's next? You know, the drummer's gonna come out with a full drum set. Everybody just wants to be like in front stage, you know, showing off. Cherry red. Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, this guitar, I wish it was cherry red, but it's more of a candy apple red. But you know what? Since I am Jerry Cherry, we'll call it cherry red. And you know, I got my telly here. This is the newest member of the family right here that I got about a month ago. I just had the neck sanded very minorly on it. A minor sanding, I should say. And I'm still getting used to it. The luthier who did it said, if you're not happy, just bring it in and we'll give it a little bit more sanding. But I think I'm going to have a little bit more taken off. Because this one, when I got it, I had this thing shaved completely, where it's just natural wood in the back. Because, you know, we get that lacquer on the back of the neck, and that slows you down, man. I don't like it. So this is completely sanded off. That one is, it's going to have to be sanded a little bit more, because it's just smooth. Especially when it's very humid, and you can't really, you're trying to play fast, and your thumb is sticking to the back of the neck. I'm sure you guys experienced that before with guitars. So, yep. You know, this technique right here really helped me with picking. Another great picking exercises is going through the scales here and just hammering on the first three notes and picking the next three notes. See what I'm doing? Hammer on, pick, hammer on, pick. Like hammer on, picking. And hammer on, and even descending. Hammer on, picking. So that's a whole nother thing. But, all right. Well, hopefully you got this. Butterscotch. Yeah. Butterscotch is right. I've had my eye on a telly like that for about a year or so now. I've been craving a real telly like that. And it's just hard to come by. I mean, during the pandemic, they stopped making a lot of guitars. A lot of guitars were on back order. A lot of guitar stores didn't have, you know, a lot of guitars because of manufacturing, or they were back ordered. So I was looking for a Telecaster for a while that had that color. It was in my mind, like I want butterscotch, but actually that's what do they call that? That's a yeah, I think I should know. I just bought it, right? It's a blonde. I guess it is like a blonde butterscotch, or it's not Arctic, but it is butterscotch. You're absolutely right. It's kind of like a blonde butterscotch. And but that's a 70th anniversary broadcaster. So it's really kind of before, it's a reissue of the 70th anniversary, a reissue of a 70th of 1950 original broadcaster, which they made before the Telecaster, turned into a telly. And actually I made a video on that. I'll put a card above or a link in the description if you want to check out the video I made on this guitar, where I go through the sounds and all the specs on it. So check that out when you can. And it's got a real fat neck on it, you know. It's like a baby powder. That's a good point. You know what? I was doing that when I first got the guitar. I was putting, what was I putting on the neck? I didn't put any powder on it, but you know what? I thought that would work because when you go play pool, I don't know if any of you guys are pool players, but they give you chalk, right? And it's kind of like powder, and you put your hand on this little, like, some places have like a big, like a thing of it, of just powder, and you put your hand on it so that I guess the stick, when you're putting it, has all that lacquer on it as well, so that it's smooth on there. So I thought, you could put baby powder on the back of the neck, which is a great idea. I should try that. But you can also just shave the lacquer off. Oh, man. I know people that put WD-40 on their fretboard. They make the fast fret that you put on there, and I use it sometimes when I'm playing outside and it's real humid or hot, and you're trying to play, and it's like you can't even move your fingers because it's so sticky. But I've put fast fret on there, but I also found that fast fret just kills the strings, and it feels kind of weird, but it's definitely better than sticking. And then I saw a guy just use WD-40. I was like, oh my God, imagine that. Just like squirt WD-40 on it. Stuff is so greasy. It's like and that's kind of like a secret trick that a lot of these speed guys probably do, because you put WD-40 on your fretboard, man, you're flying all over the place, right? Problem is that my fingers would just be slipping off the notes. That's why I never like doing it, because when you bend notes, I like to be able to grab onto it. If it's too slippery, it's going to kind of, fall off, but, I guess you get used to it. My man Aaron, why don't mummies take time? Okay, here we go. Why don't mummies take time off? They're afraid to unwind. Happy Halloween. That is hilarious. Oh my God. That's a good one. Why don't mummies take time off? They're afraid to unwind. Aaron, you are the best, man. Aaron does a live stream at 4 o'clock every Sunday. So you going live today, Aaron? I'm going to be there for sure. Checking out some Aaron. I haven't seen you in a little while because I've been away the last 3 Sundays. Been out on tour, playing around. But I'm back, and I'll be here. So I'll be there to see Aaron play his original music and fun covers. He's just a great singer-songwriter. Love this man. Halloween special, 4 o'clock at Aaron Short's Music. Okay, we'll be there at 4 o'clock. After the game, after the 1 o'clock game, we'll be there. So, very cool, Aaron. Thank you, man. Looking forward to seeing some Halloween. We play Monster Mash. What was a Monster Mash? All right, very cool. Well, anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here. You're playing is scary? It is. Well, I am Scary Jerry today. Scary Aaron doesn't have quite the rhyme to it, but I know you could be pretty scary. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, spending some time. Hopefully you found this helpful in this scary guitar speed building exercise. Fun. And so come back next Sunday at 11 o'clock. We'll do something else. If you have any ideas for any cool theory things or songs or solos, let me know in the comments. I play live on Facebook this Wednesday. I usually do Thursdays, but I'm going to have to do Wednesdays this week. So Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern Time on Jerry Cherry on Facebook. Check that out. And thank you, Bradley. Very cool. Very scary speed. Yeah, well, you could build up to it with this. Start slow, make it clean, and then build up and get faster and faster. Use fast fret when you're changing your strings, that the strings don't get all over it. I use fast fret when I'm changing my strings so that the strings don't get all over it. The strings don't get it all over. Okay. I got you. So when you're changing your strings, that the strings don't get it all over. Okay, so you don't get it, you just get it on the string and not on everything else. So that's cool. That works. I'm gonna have to try WD-40 sometime. I'm really curious about that to see how it feels, because I know WD-40. I put some in the in the nuts sometimes. I'll put a little bit of WD-40 on a paper towel, and I'll just kind of squeeze it over the nut. Not this guitar doesn't really catch, but on my SG, on the G, it just really catches the string. You ever do that when you're like tuning? As soon as you get up to pitch, it goes ping, and it jumps. That's because there's like a little bit of dirt inside of the nut there, and you got to constantly clean that out. Some people take pencils and they sharpen it with the lead, and they just put the lead inside there. But I just think that kind of ruins the look of the fretboard. So I just put some WD-40 in there. It lubes it up pretty good. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, so you just get the fast fret on the wood, not the string. So you'll put it on the fretboard, and then put your strings on. So I guess that works. I never thought about that. So it's kind of just smoothing out the strings when they hit the fretboard, which is cool. Which also, you know, sometimes you have the gloss, which this actually has. It has gloss on the fretboard. So when your fingers when your fingers catch the wood down here, it slows you down too, especially from bending. But I found if you have high frets, if you have jumbo frets, it makes it a lot easier, because if you have high frets, your fingers wind up not even touching the wood. Or try to play closer to the fret. Like on the Telly, the one thing that I'm not in love with is that the frets aren't really as tall as I would like them. So you're actually feeling some of the wood when you're bending, which is okay. I mean, sometimes it's good to be held back. You know, you're on a Telecaster, so you don't want to be like wailing away on it, you know. WD-40 soaks into the wood. Be careful. Yeah, that's a good point too. You know, I don't want to damage the wood on the guitar, so that's probably why I've never used WD-40 as a, you know, as a lubricant. He said lubricant. So yeah, thank you though for the warning. I definitely don't want to ruin my beautiful brand new Telly or any of my guitars. Maybe on the cheap ones, right? Which I don't really have many of them. Even those I wouldn't want to trash. So yeah, you've used the pencil before. Yeah, that's an old trick that I use. So you wouldn't use WD-40, rocking the Rockies. Okay. Well, the guys that I saw using it, they were using it on pretty inexpensive kind of beater guitars, you know. I didn't see him put on it like a really good guitar, so that's interesting. So you have a very good point on that. Thank you. It might run down the neck, and that would be a shame. Ruin the neck. Okay, yeah. Yeah, especially on a light maple neck. Last thing you want to do is like get a stain, you know, of I've always been kind of paranoid about that. Like, I haven't done it in forever. I would clean the fretboard with some lemon oil, you know, and that stuff just really brings out the wood of your fretboard. Which I used to do it on my rosewood fretboard, or any rosewood on the acoustic. Just use some lemon oil on that, man. Really, really kind of cleans the wood, and it, you know, it just brings out the beautiful color of it. So, all right. Well, thanks for spending some time with me today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's been awesome. You guys are just the best. Keep rocking. Any great ideas for any future things on Sunday, just let me know in the comments section. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. And WD-40 and duct tape could solve any well, duct tape for sure, you know, could fix anything. I am not kidding. Always have duct tape handy. I rub down the back of the neck periodically with 90% alcohol from the drugstore. Takes off any sticky oils. That's good too, Tom. I do that sometimes with that. I would just use my polish and rub it out, and it's nice and smooth. But then, you know, it just gets sticky when it's humid, and maybe just the natural oils from your hands. So, you know, as you can see, they took all the sand off, all the lacquer off this one, and I just like it. That one, they took a little bit off because he wanted to experiment with just more of a satin finish, which I love the satin finishes. But I think just a little bit more taken off. If I can find a balance between this one and that one, it'll be good. So, you guys rock. Happy playing. Hopefully you find this helpful. Go ahead and, you know, fast forward to the timestamps that I put so you can get right to some of that, those speed exercises. And, you know, I'll see you next Sunday. I'll see you on Facebook Live. So, rubbing alcohol doesn't dry out the neck? I guess not. Tom would know. He does it. So, I use rubbing alcohol on my cell phone just to clean the screen. So, all right, guys. You guys are awesome. Check out my last video that I made on the Strymon pedal, which is how I'm getting my sounds right now. You know, I have really great sounds. I have a favorite sound. This is a Fender Deluxe. This is an AC30. What's great about this pedal? I have my pedal board hooked up. And it handles pedals pretty well going into a live stream. I love it. Then it has distortion sounds built into it. Kick on the Marshall sound. Pretty cool. Different cabinets. Then go back to my favorite sound. It's a clean sound that I was working with. So I did a video on this well. I'll put a card here where or a link in the description about the Strymon pedal. I did a full review of every feature on it. So check that out too when you can. Happy Halloween, guys. Thanks for spending some time with me. I went over time. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You're awesome. You're the best. Be cool. Be kind. Be cherry. Love you guys, and thank you so much. It's always awesome hanging out with you. Love yous. Ciao, y'all. Happy Halloween.